All right, everybody, welcome to Chicago Hockey Radio Postgame Show. Lee Grossman and Tassos Kirkos. Hawks win 3-1 over the Seattle Kraken, and you're about to get the quickest CHR Postgame you've ever heard in your life. If you are a first-time listener, please hit the subscribe button on this YouTube channel. And if you are not a first-time listener, tell a friend to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, and make sure you're following us on Instagram and all that fun stuff, all the socials. Leaving 5-star ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts means a lot. So Hawks win 3-1 over the Seattle Kraken. We were all at the game. Thank you to everybody that met us at the game. That was a ton of fun, getting to meet everybody in the second intermission there. There were about 8 or 9 of you. Oh, Raven just came in here and zoomed the crap out of the camera. So there we go. Yeah, but Lee, how we feeling? Are we so back?
Dude, I just need everybody up on their feet after that one. That's just one of those where you got to get on your feet. Great night for us, Tassos. I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Sick to go to a game. As you said, it was awesome to meet up with everybody in the second intermission. And we're definitely going to keep doing that like throughout the season and into next year, because it's just it's enjoyable for us to meet as many of you as possible and just chop it up over our beloved Blackhawk. So that was sick. I'm not going to lie, me and I don't even want to put this on Tassos. It was pretty much all me. I thought I thought we would be clever and try to go to the game and get tickets just a few minutes before puck drop, and they'd be cheaper. And they weren't at all. We got there and they were like $56 a pop. So we capped on that, but we had to get in. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So I'll wear that one. But all that stuff aside, I thought it was a good game. The Blackhawks, it's fair to say now, even though I've been saying it since like 2 games after it happened, but this Blackhawks team is a completely different team from the team that was playing under Luke Richardson. Like, they just look completely different. They have so much more energy. They're playing a less frustrating, boring style. And every single game since Anders Sorensen has taken over has looked significantly better than that under Luke Richardson. I believe we are now 4-3 under Anders Sorensen. So he's positive on the season. So that's it's pretty crazy. Definitely a new coach bump, but we'll take it, because it was getting pretty bleak there. It's not fun to do this when the team just loses every single game 4-1, 4-2. So we'll take it. I know all you watching will take it. It's just positive stuff. I guess we can get into specifics tonight about the game. Ilya Mikheyev is apparently on par, if not better, than Connor McDavid. If you didn't know, if you guys weren't aware of that, everything this guy fucking touches turned to gold. He had 2 tonight. He could have had 3 or 4. He had an opportunity in the first that he should have scored on, and then he could have had a 4th for an empty netter. So he's on fire right now, and so is Teuvo Teravainen. And me and Justin have had some discussion on the podcast, that Teuvo probably deserves to be playing more minutes, and more importantly than that, top 6 first line minutes. But I don't think they're going to be changing this line anytime soon. They've been so dynamic. They've been good in their own end. They've been scoring, leading the team in points and goals these past few games. So good to see them. Good to see Teuvo playing well. 2 couple assists tonight. And Nolan Allen with his first goal.
That was awesome.
Not a bad first goal, huh?
No, that's a pretty sweet first goal in the National. If you're if you're putting them up there, we talked about that kid Adam Wilsby who scored an awesome first NHL goal. That was pretty cool too, though, from Nolan Allen. First round pick, finally getting it done, right?
Yeah,
that's what you want to see.
Absolutely, and the play was he passed it over to Donato and then crashed the net. Basically, just went closer to the net, and Donato found him with the pass back, and he ripped it into a wide open net. So kind of assisted his own goal almost. Awesome play. it's what we've been harping on this. We want to see our defensemen getting in not just in the rush, but into the offensive zone more in general, just playing more aggressively, trying to get pucks on net, make things happen. So yeah, from that aspect, it was a great goal to see. Um, I do. We'll do more Blackhawks players, but I did want to talk about Capo Caco a little bit.
Oh, you want to get Kraken talk out of the way?
Maybe just a little Kraken talk because we're not going to.
Talk.
Yeah, we're not going to go too long, so let's just get squid talk out of the way. To be honest, we had so much going on that like I didn't have a chance to really pay attention to really any of the squids out there. But I think that Kako just he's playing like he's pissed off. He had ripped one off the crossbar or off the post. I couldn't tell from our vantage point tonight, but I thought he looked pretty good, and I was like, damn, New York is just so poverty that like, it looks like, I don't know, was moving that guy out of town really
the answer to your problems?
Yeah, is that going to make you win a Stanley Cup? I don't know. But I mean, tonight they just looked like a beatable team. They didn't really have anybody that was that threatening. I remember there were a couple of shifts where the Bedard line completely just dominated the McCann line and just had like a minute or two of offensive possession. Seattle just not really threatening until they obviously scored that one goal, which sucks for Soderblom to not get the shutout. But I thought he played pretty well again tonight, made 27 for 28. What's that, a 964? Like, dude, this guy is playing out of his head. And you said that that Mrazek's back. He was just on the who's the backup?
Yeah, Mrazek was activated off IR and they sent down Comesso earlier today.
Yeah, so I mean, it'll be interesting to see kind of going forward how they, because we've talked about it before, Mrazek being slightly injury prone. I think we'd all agree that Mrazek's probably is the better goalie out of the two, but Soderblom's just been playing so well, and with Mrazek's injuries, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of split time between the two of them a little more evenly now that Mrazek's back, as he's getting healthier. I think, and I think that's something we're all okay with. I think we're okay with leaning on Arvid Soderblom a little more just because of how good he's been this year, and he's, like 25 years old. So it's good to have. It's so awesome to have two guys that are playing well. And dude, we just won 3 games in a row.
That's unreal.
3 games in a row. This is the first time the Blackhawks have won 3 games in a row since the fall of the Berlin Wall, and so it's pretty cool. Finally to get that under our belt, get the monkey off the back, and we don't have to all get hyped up after we win 2 games in a row now because we did it. But yeah, I just, good game overall. I don't know. Do you have, I'm kind of rambling here. I don't know if you have any thoughts you want to interject.
Well, just to end Kraken talk, the kid that scored, Riker Evans, he's a good player, but other than that, it's kind of just a lot of what we thought, like second, third line guys, no true star talent. Like Beniers wasn't really noticeable out there tonight. Shane Wright wasn't really noticeable out there tonight. Couldn't have even told you Shane Wright wasn't out there or wasn't out there if the scoreboard didn't indicate that he was at times. And those are guys that I'm super high on too, right? Like if Seattle's gonna turn it around and be that franchise they want to be, those 2 guys have to be your cornerstone pieces, 1, 2 down the middle. The rest of the team just doesn't excite me, though. You got guys like Yanni Gordon, Jaden Schwartz and Brandon Tanev, and it just doesn't wiggle the excitement meter at all.
Yeah,
doesn't.
No, they're built similarly to the Islanders, where it's a bunch of solid NHL guys, like middle 6 guys, but no real needle movers or goal scorers. Jared McCann's the best they got.
And also they brought in Chandler Stevenson, and I know it's not like you brought in Sidney Crosby here, but 21 points in 33 games, -10 though, only 3 goals in 33 games. Like that's not probably what you signed up for when you signed Chandler Stevenson to come help out down the middle there. So I don't know that he's really getting it done either. He was a -1 tonight in 20 minutes. I don't know. Just they don't do it for me on the excitement level. Kakko, though, I hope Kakko turns into a stud and the Kraken are able to shove that in the Rangers' face, because that'd be nice. That was a really easy buy low, maybe flip into a superstar kind of deal.
Absolutely. And I think you and I are both in agreement that the Blackhawks should have been trying to get that guy. And who knows? I haven't heard anything if KD was even trying. But if he wasn't, that's a little frustrating, just because in the spot that the Blackhawks are in right now, this transition period where you're kind of waiting for some of these young prospects to turn into NHL players, and you have all this draft capital and these assets going forward, this is the time that you kind of roll the dice and take a chance on a young kid like that who's picked high and underdelivered. Because you never know, it sometimes takes these guys like a long time to really do something in this league. Like, I just think about guys like Dylan Strome, who, like, we picked him off of the Coyotes for nothing, and then we let him walk for nothing. And, like, everyone thought he was a letdown and a bust. I think he went
sometimes
like third.
Sometimes it just takes guys a little while.
Sometimes it just takes guys longer, and so, yeah, it's guys like Kakko that, like, I think that the Blackhawks in this current spot should be going after. That's
enough, Hawk. That's enough squid talk, honestly.
Yeah,
I
think. I was just gonna pivot.
Should we talk about the first period? Like, I thought that was like, it could have been 3-0, 4-0 Hawks if they had just bared down and buried some of those looks that they had.
Dude, I think we were like 10 minutes into the game. We had like 5 shots on, and you looked at me and you were like, dude, they only have 5 shots. I think every single one of these have been an A+ opportunity.
Yeah.
It felt like we should have had 3 in that first few minutes of the game. They started hot. We didn't convert, which is, not desirable. You want to see your team putting away chances when they get them. But yeah, I thought they looked strong to start the first period, the entire first period. Honestly, they looked strong, and I think we're maybe just a bit unlucky to not score. I already talked about that Mikheyev chance, but there were others too. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, and tonight was another like full 3-period, 60-minute effort from them. And it's paying off. Somebody in chat asked, like, how do you think this season would be different if Anders Sorensen was the coach at the start? And
I don't know that it'd be much different.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to look back in retrospect and be like, oh, well, things are better now than they were a month and a half ago. Maybe they would have, but maybe they needed to go through that a bit too. And, the shock of losing a coach, and for what a lot of those guys was their only coach, and like Bedard, and I know he's only been here a year, right? But some of those guys, that was like Richardson was their coach. And, yeah, I don't know. Like a guy like Lucas Reichel, I think, right? He didn't play under Colleton much, if at all.
A little, I think.
Maybe a little bit, but other than that,
his first season. But that's
like, that was like their guys' coach, and then you wake up in the mirror one day and it's like, oh, like, this guy lost his job. We weren't good enough. This new guy's coming in. Let's shape it up, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think that the new coach / interim coach bump is a real thing. And I just think that when your coach gets fired, it sends, you can't do anything about it. It sends a message to the guys in the locker room. It's like, hey, you guys are not, like, if we could fire you, we would almost, it's like one of those things where it's like, you're not doing your job and you've got to do something about that. So I do think that played a factor into it. But with that being said, it is clearly a different style of hockey being played. There's so much more empowerment for not just our young players, but everybody throughout the lineup, even the veterans, to try to control the puck better and be more creative in the O-zone and more aggressive on the forecheck. I think all these things are in less of the dump and chase. I think a lot of that is also playing into the newfound success that we've had under Sorensen.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
I thought just we could talk about Mikheyev for a second, just because, for a guy that we've said has bricks for hands too, to be able to get to. The first one is just like, go to the net with your stick on the ice and good things happen. Like that's what happens when you drive the net hard, which is why we scream it to these guys so often. It's imagine good things happen when you go to the front of the net, like crazy that you'll get one. I think it went off his knee or something, and he's like on the ice and goes off your whatever, however it goes in. Like that's all that matters.
They all count the same.
The second one was a rip of a shot, though.
Rip.
Like I didn't know I didn't know he had that in him.
We weren't familiar with his game like that. No. I guess we owe him an apology. Yeah, that was a sweet shot. Not just like a dirty, just going to the net kind of goal. Tavo lost the handle there, and I was worried that was the end of the opportunity. But sick goal by him. I feel good for him. It's nice, especially at I'm sure other people. I'm sure we aren't the only ones who are hard on Ilya Mikheyev, at the start of the year. So good for him to score again, and hopefully those guys can keep lighting it up. Yeah. I don't know how long this win streak's gonna last, but it's good. Look, it's good for young guys to win games. Like this is, I feel like in the past 2 years, this is or since we drafted Bedard, this is like the highest the team has been, emotions wise. So yeah, it's good for them to not all be just depressed because they stink, Yeah.
How about let's do some quick hits here before we go. The Murphy fight, that wasn't really a fight, but that was
weird. I need to go back and watch that again and check Twitter to see what happened. Because we ended up doing our meetup right after that. Didn't know what happened there. It looked like he wanted to fight one guy, and then that guy didn't oblige, and then someone else skated over, but then Murphy didn't want to fight that other guy, and then they gave them both 4-minute double minors. I don't know. It was fucking weird. I'm gonna have to go back and I don't know, maybe if anybody in chat knows exactly what happened, but yeah, I still confused me.
Penalty kill's been good again too. Another night keeping them off the board. 0-for-3 the Kraken were on the PP,
and they did nothing with them. No. Our penalty kill is not only been the past 10 games. Not only have we not let a goal, but we've also scored on the penalty kill. So it's I'm okay with us taking penalties. It feels like we play our best hockey a man down almost. So. Yeah. I think we're fourth in the league, but on our way to climbing up to first. So let's keep that up.
Yeah. I thought the young guys were good too. Nazar, eventually he's going to bury one. He's going to bear down on something and put one in the net or create an opportunity. He's too gifted. He's too all around it, too much to not. And I thought Kevin Korchitsky had a good game too. I know we can get into more of the young guys tomorrow and more into the weeds of the game, but somebody in the chat said Stevenson took Murphy's helmet off on the ground. Murphy was about that action. Then Dunn jumped in. So that's the lowdown there apparently on the Murphy situation.
It's kind of a wussy move to take off a guy's helmet and then just completely ignored him when Murphy tried to drop the gloves with him. So kind of cringe, but
all right.
Whatever.
Any other thoughts? Any other quick points here?
No, I thought, Bedard and Nazar played fine. Not their most noticeable games, but sometimes that's okay. Sometimes not being noticeable as a young player is a good thing. So
Bedard should have shot it on that 2-on-1 look he had too. I forgot who he passed it to.
I think he passed it to Donato.
It was a great stop by Joey Decord, but probably should shoot the puck there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Good game, though.
Great
Fun
game.
time.
Do you think they get it done? Gut reaction. Do they get it done on Saturday against the Flames in Calgary?
No.
No. All right. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I'll say yes for posterity's sake. Okay. That's it from us. Everybody listen to our podcast tomorrow. We'll be back with Justin Lynch in studio. We'll dig in more into this game against the Kraken, and we will dig into more of Saturday afternoon matinee against the Calgary Flames. Like I said, off the rip, please subscribe to this podcast. Please tell a friend about this podcast. We're going to do more meetups. We're going to do more fun stuff. We've got different things planned for the new year, so it's going to be really fun. Winter Classic week is a big week for us. Some programming notes. Show tomorrow. Show next Monday. No show Wednesday. No show Friday. But we will still do post-game shows for all the post-games next week. And then we'll be back regularly scheduled programming Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Free Monday?
We are doing whatever you and Raven decide. They will be doing a stream next week, whether it's Monday or whether it's Friday. I don't know. That's
stream's going to be on Monday.
Okay, sure. Stream on Monday. CHR merch when we get the followers up and the subscribers up. But we're close. You guys are all incredible. We're going to do a lot of great stuff in the new year. We are planning on stuff like that. You guys have been great to us, and we hope that we could just even be the slightest amount of great back to you in the way that we can with this show. So everybody's great. Thanks to Raven for being here late. Sorry we didn't have Justin, but we'll see him tomorrow morning, and we hope everybody has a good night.
Boys.